Hello, and welcome back to DanPlays. So we're back with what is this? Part nine, I think. Is it nine already? Well, anyway, part something of Final Fantasy VII. So we're a little ways into Disc 2 now, and as of the end of the last part, basically all hell broke loose. So obviously at the end of Disc 1, spoiler if you didn't watch it, but you probably know this already anyway. Eris died, and after Eris died, we went snowboarding. Then we crossed the Great Glacier, went into the Northern Crater, and at that point, Cloud lost his mind and disappeared. Sephiroth summoned Meteor. Tifa and Barret were captured by the Shinra. The planet's sort of elemental spirit protector creatures, the weapons woke up. 40 years of darkness, dead rising from the grave, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. So that's where we are. Um, and again, specifically, we left off with Tifa and Barret captured by the Shinra. So the kind of escape from that predicament is what we're starting with. So yeah, get back into it. My volume there. All right. So what are we doing? So I have Barrett active currently, although Tisha is still counted as in the party. So while I have them both here, let me check their equipment real quick. Uh, Actually should be getting the airship soon, so we should be able to buy a couple more power wrists. I'm actually going to throw a power wrist on Tifa for now. Barrett already has one. Um, what I could do, that Gigas armlet, which has no materia growth, but we don't have a lot of materia on Barret anyway, so I could just bump all of these into his micro laser, so he doesn't have any materia on his uh, armlet, dangle, whatever. And then I could equip that Gigas armlet on him. So yeah, we'll do that for now. And otherwise, we should be pretty good. I believe we actually do get a third character in our party relatively soon. But anyway, I don't remember if this is the right way to go. I don't want to talk against Heidegger. There's Rufus in the background. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be here. uh, yeah, this may be the wrong way. There's Barrett's hands are literally tied, so you can't, attack Rufus outside of battle or anything like that. So we can go down these stairs here. The select button on this controller doesn't work all that great. All right, there goes Tifa. Oh, and I just went upstairs. Okay, that's great. We're off to a good start here, folks. All right, where did they go? Probably out this way, right? Guess I can't pass. Oh, televised public executions. That's always a sign of a society going right, right? There's like a quick time event here for Tifa to escape the gas chamber. I kind of forget exactly how to do it, but probably see. Ooh, her eyes are glowing on camera. I think you're a replicant. Uh, yeah, Adrian joined, as you can probably see. Huh, I thought there was something weird about that reporter. He almost looked like a cat robot sitting on a Moogle robot inside a trench coat. So yeah, we got Barrett and Keesis, and then Tifa does rejoin us. I think she does. Um, we're probably gonna have to equip Keesis though after this battle. Hey, Sith, Keesis. I forget what accessory I have on Keesis, but apparently whatever it is protects from sleep, so that's good. So yeah, we'll re-equip him as soon as possible. Keesis is actually at a higher level than Barrett. Besides, I hate this fraud. I know canonically Kate Sith has a Scottish accent, but I always like when he says stuff like that. I hate that fraud. I always picture like a Brooklyn accent. Oh, he has a ribbon on. That'll do it. Want to give him? Well, we could give him that diamond bangle. All right. So some of this Fred's materia. Why not throw sense on him? Score on him too. We could give him some of these summons. I give him all the ones right adequate. Then we'll put a restore on him. Something else. Or, oh, that's probably Cloud's restore that he has equipped now. He did equip, unequip all of Cloud's stuff. Uh, Earth. I haven't gotten week 3 yet, so. Actually, let's go Choco Log. That's kind of perpetually, somewhat useful. Where do I go here? Oh, Yeah, yeah, I guess that's why we have that giant cannon on the front of the front of the whole town, right? Well, I don't know what that did. It just shot the ocean. Well done. No, it's Sin. It's Titus when and his daddy issues when you need him. This is my story. I never really noticed it. It really does look like Sin from Final Fantasy X in this scene, this particular weapon. Anyway, how many are there? There's Emerald, Ruby. This one I think is Sapphire, and you never actually fight this one. And then there's Ultimate Weapon, which is actually one of the easier ones to beat in battle. Yeah, I wonder if this is like, the seed of the idea for Sin in 10. It's good to have random battles when you're in a rush, right? This guy you can probably build something from. And try to put a skill on somebody. Not really a forte for either of these characters, but you know, not like we have access to Tifa or Yuffie at the moment, so. Next open. Let's actually who has Dex. I guess it's base it, so by putting steel on him. Yeah, that's kind of a defense. that back to Tiefin when we have her. Poor Yuffie. So let's just try to fight that soldier second guy again, just see if we can steal anything good from him. I feel like he might have like some special armor or something. Yeah, Barrett's doing a lot of damage. Times like this, I wish you had, there's like the reissue on modern systems. Not the remake, but the reissue, the original version of this game, where it has like you can fast forward battles and stuff. Kind of wish I had that option right now. Speed this up, remedy. Well, his limit is breaking. Let me check the book here. I guess the remedy is just the item he has. Soldier Soldier third has the hard edge. That's the one that actually did steal the hard edge from in the Shinra building early in the game. And Shinra Soldier first has the Shinra Alpha, which is a good armor. That's what I was thinking of. So, I mean, the remedy's not bad to have, but you can get them by other means. The other way, so that means this way. And gee, I wonder if this reporter is Yuffie in disguise. So I'm on screen somewhere. This screen is one where the perspective is a little weird. I actually didn't realize I was even on screen at first. Let's see if we can get another remedy. The first two steals don't work. We'll just guy's ass. Word of Doom. A whole lot of anything. Yeah, thanks for the 400 damage. That's some fine Doom right there. Where the hell am I? Oh, there I am, like way in the background. So I think, do we get Yuffie in the party here? And I assume you just don't, if, you don't recruit Yuffie before this point. She is an optional character, so I assume she's just not here at all. I've never not recruited her, but anyway. Oh yeah, oh yeah, her dex is way higher than K-Sith's. Well, his is actually not bad. You know, I never really checked him, and I've never really used K-Sith for steal, but not as bad as I thought. Like, I guess. All right, so where's we'll just swap stuff onto her. Don't keep long range. Let's actually pop long range on the K-Sith, and then we can put him in the back row. So you don't need that on Yuffie because her weapons are all. long range to begin with. We could actually put, let's actually split up the Bahamut and put regular Bahamut on Tita, or on Yuffie rather. What else can we put on her? She has lightning, she has all the elements, she has Comet. Cloud's poison there. We can keep leveling that up actually. Get Bio 3. And we haven't used Kajada yet, so throw that on her too. And we can put Alexander on a Case Death. Get long range on Case Death. We'll pop him in the back row too. Alright, so now we have a decent three-person party here. Interesting lineup, Barret, Case Death, and Yuffie. I mean, most of the game, Cloud's locked in your party, so this is not a lineup you'd usually be able to use just for that reason. Get a couple remedies, because again, you know, you can get them elsewhere, but they are helpful. They're not a bad item to have. And anyway, pull from the same guy. I thought that guy would go down by this point. Do these ones have more HP than the others we pulled in seconds? Seems like they don't want to go down. Oh, there we go. Next potion. Those are good to have on hand for equipment too. Yeah, that's for right at the switch. Get that. Ooh, what's this? Roulette cannon. Oh, I should put the enemy skill on somebody. Well, Cloud's out of the party. I'm gonna guess this thing is weak to lightning. Right. Yep, that'll do it. Next potion. Alright, so, use legs to get the key. Arms. Head. Head, legs. Oh, you can combine two movements at once, so you do head and legs together, I guess. There we go. Oh, and then you do head and each arm to unlock them. All right, we got it free. Oh shit, son. Oh, for the Earth's one of the Earth's elite elemental guardian forces, it didn't have that impressive a performance there, did it? Blew a little hole in the side of the building and then got its head blown off by the cannon. The cannon, by the way, is called the Sister Ray, so I assume that's an intentional Velvet Underground reference. I don't remember. Did we have any like legit battles with Tifa on our own here? Did I bother equipping her? That guy that fell off the building. I assume he's dead, right? I run out to the end of the cannon, basically. Yeah, I don't think there's any like legit battles. So I won't bother equipping Tifa here. There's the Sister Ray, the cannon. So yeah, here this hasn't aged well. This little mini game where you have a slap fight with Scarlet. Uh, this is this is like ECW in like '97. This would be like Francine and Bueller. You just need Joey Styles. They're like, "Can't fight." Uh, as much as I'm not interested in really that much in the remake, uh, reunion, whatever, series, I am interested in what they did with this scene. I don't know if they've gotten to this point yet, or if this will be like the next part of that series. But yeah, I am interested to see what they did with this because this slap fight mini game it's a sign of the times. I think it hasn't really aged that well. It's also one of those things. It's pretty obviously somebody's fairly concealed fetish, right? Like every once in a while, you'll see that in some piece of media. Like if you rewatch Ninja Turtles '87, the original cartoon series of Ninja Turtles, well, not original comics or the original the Mirage comics, but the first cartoon series anyway. Watch for how much foot tickling there is in that. Like that's somebody was really into that. I think that's kind of the thing here, and it doesn't really even make sense for Tifa to have a slap fight. I mean, Scarlett's like a company executive, and Tifa's like a highly trained martial artist. She could just take her head off with a punch or something. But no, we have to slap her, and it's basically hitting the button before he does. So now Tifa's actually going to be back, kind of as the party leader for a little while. Basically, she's in place of Cloud at this point, so we won't be able to take Tifa out of the party. But she does leave the party temporarily at some point too, when we find Cloud, basically. So somebody else will step in as leader at that point for her. So there's actually a chocobo stable on the highway, so you can actually transport a chocobo on this. Which at some point we will do the chocobo racing. I'm not going to do all the racing for this video playthrough because, frankly, I probably wouldn't really want to. Even if I wasn't recording it. Just doing the race at the gold saucer over and over and over again wouldn't be that exciting on video. But there is a way where you can game the system, basically, which I'll have to look up how to do it. But I have done it before. It involves like a lot of resetting and stuff. But you can get the gold chocobo without actually doing all the racing to level up the chocobo stats. So once we have control of the airship, a couple quick things we could do. First and foremost, we could get the well, actually, we could go to Rocket Town and buy a few accessories, like a couple extra power risks and stuff. Um, and we can also get the beta enemy skill from the Golem, or not the Golem, the Midgar's Golem. Actually, it does rhyme with Golem, I guess. Well, that's always the excuse for gaming too, like as seen in the Angry Video Game Nerd Spider-Man episode. That was always the excuse when you're playing a game with a friend and you mess something up, and it's the excuse is always, "Well, you're talking to me." I was actually looking at the manual. I still have in the box here, and it describes Sid as the like an old, like crusty old pilot. and his age canonically in the manual, in the same entry in the manual, is 32. So he's the old pilot at 32. So thank you for that. You know, what with me being 10 years older than that now. So this is cluing us in to go to the town of Medial, which we haven't been to yet, but that's where he is. But we'll do a couple things first. How do you switch the party? Do you have to? Can you actually do that? Oh, we have to. I guess there's still another scene first. Oh, here's where we switch the party. Okay, so Tifa's locked in. So in light of that, we probably don't need to use Yuffie at this point. Let's put Vincent in, and I don't know. Think for a second. Yeah, if you're going by level, which doesn't really matter at this point, everybody's kind of pretty the same. But Barrett was slightly like everybody's 40 except him and Vincent. So we'll use those two. We also already have Barrett equipped, so we'll just swap some stuff onto Vincent here. We'll actually just Tifa the steel back. Oh wait, swap stuff onto Tifa too. And we need to put the enemy skill on somebody too. In this lineup, I think Barrett should get that. Sorry, Vincent should get that. That's actually one thing. I think I mentioned this before, but one thing I don't like about the enemy skill in this game is that I think they should have made it so as you get, even when you get more enemy skill materia, and I think there's four in the game. I think you can only get up to four. I have three, but each one is independent, so you have to learn all of the enemy skills on each of them. I think they should have made it so that you have the same list of learned enemy skills on all of them, no matter which specific materia. What I'm getting at is like the list of learned skills is shared between all the materia, so automatically you have all of them on another materia when you get it. You don't have to learn them on each one of them, basically, because I only ever end up using one, uh, because the others start with no abilities learned, so there's not a whole lot of point using the others. So that's one change I would have made personally, is make it so that they're like a shared list. Yeah, let's put a couple summons on Tifa. Don't want to load her up too much, but actually she should have the long range. Actually, let's not do summons on FIFA. Why do I have manipulate? I guess I just switched everything on Kate Sith to Vincent. Let's put a summon on him. And I guess Odin. I like Odin. I use Odin a lot. FIFA, give it a plus. All right, that should be good. Lineup. 3 in. And we'll save. We'll save spot one this time. Yeah, leave that there. Okay, thanks for that. Well, let's get back into the field. I think first things first, we'll get the beta enemy skill. We're off. Let me just check where do you learn your enemy skill because I feel like I missed that one. Well, I guess one of the enemies that is a missable one from the Corral prison, so we can't get it again until the last dungeon through laser. So never mind. We can get beta though. So let's fight a Midgar's Olin while we're actually not far away. Anyway, we could check in and going on at Fort Condor too. Ooh, there we go. All right, so this thing was pretty much unbeatable the last time we came through here. But now it's not so tough at all. Oops. Well, it respawns. Did Sephiroth do this? No, it was all me. I don't even give you that much experience. Well, all right, another one should show up. There it is. So note to self: don't kill it till it uses beta. From it actually. I think we do want it to like stand up. I don't think it uses beta unless it's in that standing position. We'll whack it a couple times, but actually kill it. feel. It does, like in Final Fantasy VI, there were enemies that did this, the sneeze attack, basically, where it actually knocks the party member out of battle entirely. It's annoying. Come on, cast your spell. Maybe I should have put manipulate on somebody. No point in trying to get it to cast it now. It's not in the party. He has the enemy skill. Oh, well, thanks. There it is. Can't learn it, though. It's just the fire version of, like, Prime and what is it? Trine, Aqualung. Mantra Magic is like the non-elemental version of that spell. Let me try putting manipulate on somebody. Barrett has the 3 slots, so we'll actually put that on him and put the Hypno Crown on him. Well, and manipulate. Even though there's no materia growth on the Gigas Armlet. I thought I had more exposure. But yeah, use some of them at some point. I don't know. Maybe it's just immune to, since it's kind of sort of a boss, maybe it's just immune to manipulate. I don't know. But either way, try and get it to cast beta and you know, keep trying to manipulate it, basically. Either we will manipulate it or it'll eventually use its spell. So, either way. really doesn't want to use this. Let's see here. I know he doesn't have anything, but come on. Then he uses it. Of course. He has haste on it just to try to speed things up a little bit. Come on. Like I've never had this much trouble getting this one spell. Alright, come on. It's probably immune to manipulate. At this point, it's probably safe to assume that. All right. What, they use beta? Maybe? Like the last few times it knocked two people out of the party, it used beta right after that. Come on, use it. There we go, finally. Needed a little prodding, I guess. Oh, well, I think that still counted as learning it. I think. Back, hopefully. No, it didn't, of course. Damn it. Actually, oh, damn. I was gonna say I could put the fire on for now. There we go. So as long as Vincent survives it this time, um, this should do it. Nice. Yep, there it is. Throw death sentence on him. Probably Barrett. End up killing it anyway. There we go. I don't think the death sentence actually worked either. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Let's use pre-aim on the ship. We could go to the Chocobo Ranch. Since we're going to Rocket Town, we could go to the inn there, but why not save some money? Alright, let's check in with Fort Condor. Then we'll do Rocket Town, which again, we're just buying a few accessories. Then we'll actually get on with the the plot. Make sure not to do that because we're just going to do the same thing we did the last few times and not place any units and just wait for the enemy to climb up. So just while we're waiting, I'm gonna step away briefly. All right, where are they? Oh, they're coming. And it's still the same guy. Because we went through so much trouble getting it. Let's beta on this guy. It is a pretty cool effect. Yeah, he's not getting any harder, that guy. Alright, let's use the little inn here. Hey, let's get some rest, okay, Fonzie? Oh, we should go back to Wutai, too, to Eternal Paradise. Finish that. So we'll do Wutai, Rocket Town, not necessarily in that order, then we'll go to Heal. Carry on the story. Oh, I think we also there's a chocobo you can I think buy stuff from in Medieval if I remember right, and I think you have to have a certain type of greens in your inventory, so we'll stop at the chocobo ramp here too. I don't know where the chocobos went the last time there were Bunch of them out in the yard there. Which greens is it? I'll check it. It might be in the side here. The mimic greens, of course, the expensive one. Might as well buy a couple of those. So we want to catch a chocobo too, which we eventually will. So we have three of those. That should be enough, for when we want to both the chocobo in the deal and then also do that we need to catch for chocobo breeding. So just looking at the map, if we fly east, we'll eventually come out on this side of the map. So we'll hit Wutai first. I think. Yeah, you can actually land the airship near town, so you don't have to walk around, like walk up the entire island. Although we may want to fight a couple of battles here because I think the enemies did drop X potions. Hourglass, that's new. That it's probably either haste or stop, right? Stop on all. A couple random medals here. Uh, Manipulate and Hypno Crown on Barrett anymore. Alright, let's go back down. So I think the last Turtle Paradise Flyer, which we did also miss, I think is in Yuffie's house, which is, I think, this one. And I think you have to go down in the basement. If it has a basement. Oh, yeah. There it is. guess it's just one of each source you get, and a Mega Elixir, so that's not a bad prize, actually. I mean, you kind of wish there was at least one piece of equipment there too, but you know, that's still pretty good. And actually, let's just check out what accessories they're selling here. Oh yeah, this is Scott Hall's store. Hey yo. Oh, that's weapon shop. There is an accessory store. Maybe it's just the item store that also sells accessories here. I forget. A couple parts ago that we did the whole side quest. That's the Toka Feather. I should buy some potions though. Alright, so knock it down now. Oh, we could also get the Goblin Punch and then skill, which is, I think, the only place the goblins that use it appear is there's an island, like kind of in the northeastern corner of the map. I think it's actually called Goblin Island on the status on the menu screen. I know they show up there. It might be the only place they show up. It's actually near the island that you get the Knights of the Round from. You can actually, I forget, buy Eden coats. I guess we didn't need to save the one from Paris necessarily. Um, so yeah, we'll buy at least one extra power wrist. I'll actually buy a couple extra earrings also. Might want those, and I'll buy a couple extra safety kits. Those are all good items. Yeah, buy a couple S mines too. Why not? Just like the sad town music, which also shows up in Medieval. This is the guy that gave us the Yoshiyuki. Alright, so let's try to get Goblin Punch also. There's Meteor. Fortunately, it'll mostly break up in the atmosphere, and by the time it lands, it'll be no bigger than a chihuahua's head. A Simpsons reference. That's that's not a goblin, is it? Whatever it is, the dual horn, it's gonna get a grenade bomb. Actually, the goblins, I feel like they were in a forest now that I think about it. Oh, yeah, it's actually this island, I think. And let's actually expedite the process. We'll go back to manipulate again. Here's a goblin. Got him. He's dressed like Rocky. I don't know if he has anything decent to steal. Okay, here. The Zayonut, actually, I think that's one of the nuts you need to grow up. That's one of the nuts I believe that you need to have the best chance of reading into Gold Chocobo. And you might even like need it. I'm not sure if you can probably get it somewhere else. There it is. Anyway. Let's have him Goblin Punch. I didn't Goblin Punch. Jesus, I was gonna have him Goblin Punch himself. And then we'll transform Vincent. That'll finish the fight. Alright, cool. We have a decent selection of enemy skills. Obviously, there's still some that we need, but fair number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's at least 9 more. Have a full set, but anyway. Okay, finally, let's go to video. Heal is right there. Just right here. Drop a save. No. Okay. I think you actually do have to tickle a specific part of the chocobo. Behind the ear. Okay. You can have, well, birds have ears. It's not really visible. I have to give him, I guess. Yeah, another one of those. Behind his ears. Okay. There it is. What material was it? VII, maybe? I think it was VII. Which has, like, just a random selection of spells on it. Let's put that on. Vincent here. Yeah, why do I have an all reveal? All on that. Oh, shoot. I didn't want to do that. I'm not gonna get, probably only gonna get like half price back, but you know what? I'm actually gonna reset. So we save right outside of town, but that'll get me back to greens and then the money from that plus. Or at least that up. I'll scratch you behind the ears. I actually like that. Under her ears. She has a scratch spot under her ears. Or scratch that. She'll actually like she'll do like a scratching motion with her back leg like a dog. Like dog hardware starting to accidentally get loaded. Okay. Oh, it does have a fingerprint on it. I don't know if that was the issue. Hmm. I don't know why this is suddenly not loading all of a sudden. Oh, there we go. All right. Hopefully, back in business. Oh, there's the foot. Watch. What are you, part dog? I know you're an alley cat. So who knows what your ancestry is, but all right. So that was, for lack of a better term, a shit show. But all right. Oh, we have to get that contain materia again. But the good news is, I won't waste a green this time. Trying to talk to the chocobo here. On. All right, so tickling him behind the ears makes him puke up the contain materia. Lovely. Yeah, I don't know why he's got an awl on a heel anyway. I think I did buy a couple from this guy. Yeah, he can buy remedies here. Guess I didn't buy them. We'll buy one and only one of the MP Plus. And now I'm stuck. Why am I stuck? Okay. Yeah, they're in here too. All right, so a lot of stuff we want to buy here, obviously. back for some of it later. I think for now we will actually want to get Sid's weapon because he will actually be the party leader soon when Tifa leaves. The Cloud and Tifa weapons we can probably wait on. But I think we can only get one left at the moment. So I mean Barrett's already pretty strong with what he has equipped at the moment. So let's get Vincent's. I might keep using him for the moment. And then we can actually sell his previous weapon. Yeah, buy another one. All right, that for now. In all honesty, I probably didn't necessarily need to get the MP plus materia then. At least I had one. Yeah. Didn't know getting the contained materia from the Chocobo. Do you urgently need any of that stuff? All right, so the building we actually want to go to is one here. Unusually blue eyes, pokey hair. Who else could that be? Oh yeah, the only patient that I currently have. Going to ram meteor. At least pay for its drinks first. I'm a man. You know who else is a man? Charlie here. He's a man. Yeah, I'm a man. The two sleazy guys in Seinfeld, the strike, the Festivus episode. The two guys that worked at the horse track. One was played by what was his name? He actually won a Pulitzer for writing August Osage County. Was the actor that played one of them, and the other one was like the host of Colin's Sleazy Friends, which was I think a cable access show where he interviewed musicians and porn stars. An interesting combination. And there's a great set of outtakes at the Festivus dinner. The sleazy guy Charlie. He was supposed to say to Elaine, "I think you're a fox." And there's great outtakes because they just could not get through that line without Elaine or Julia Louis Dreyfus cracking up. All right, so let's set up our party here. So Sid now is the leader, so he can't be taken out of the party. Looks like everybody else is evened out at 40, so it doesn't really matter who we pick in terms of experience, but we haven't used Red in a while, so we'll pop him in, and we'll have Yuffie pop in as like our default magic user. And Sid is in the back row. I think we had the long range materia on him at one point. Our wrist, and he has a new weapon. There's the partisan. He could sell off the Viper Halberd also. Alright, so they should be good for equipment. Trying to treat Sid like Barrett at this point. I won't load him up with too much attack materia. I'll fire on him just for funsies. Yeah, why not? They don't get any penalties anyway. So, no comments on nothing here. Probably not too many. I'll put the enemy skill on red. Alright, this stuff all got unequipped. Yeah, let's put manipulate on red just in case we need it. And actually, Guppy should bring the steel. And we'll get HP plus. I think this is a pretty decent loadout, so we'll go with this for the time being. He's way behind on limit breaks too, so we should use him for a while. So yeah, back row. The third one is the underwater reactor, I believe, but you have to get the other two first. So I will actually pop back into Mindiol to sell off two of two Sid weapons, the Viper Halberd and now let me check what the two we don't need are. So the Viper Halberd we can ditch. The Javelin is actually like the better version of it, and ditch the Mass Axe too. Actually, I might hang on to the Mass Axe for now. Yeah, we can sell the all of them but the Javelin, I guess. Because I do want to keep, just in case I decide to use it, one of the ones that has the double materia growth. Weapon shop here. Beam of light is right in my eye. Let me just up briefly to fix that. Okay, better. It was the Trident. I don't think that was. I don't think there are any elemental weapons in this game because here there's the elemental materia. So Trident too. The other one. Oh, the Mass Tax. We should be able to afford at least one of these other ones. I mean, Red is probably going to be doing more attacking at this point, so we'll grab Silcoon for him. And let's get one Crystal Bangle. Put that on. Seraph Comb, I believe, is unsellable. Spread a little bit more room for spells or we decide to put on him here too. Uh, no, that ice is actually close to him. leveling up, so put that on him. Give red a summon too. And give him the regular Bahamut. Alright. We actually went in this house. Oh, hope you don't mind taking taking your elixir there. Oh, I'll just check in with Teacher and Cloud while we're here. So I believe getting the huge Magteria at Fort Condor is the last thing you can do at Fort Condor. So we'll do that one first. And we'll do Corral. I'll call it a day for this segment. Fort Condor is actually not that far away from there. Like, kind of weird in this particular game to not be controlling Cloud on the overworld because it's a relatively short part of the game where you're not controlling him. Not like Final Fantasy VI, where who you're controlling changes all the time, and eventually you can control it at will. I actually forget if it's up to this guy or might actually be the guy with the hat that you have to talk to trigger the final battle here. Anyway, dialogue again. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna have to sell stuff to get back up to 4,000 gil. Thank you for that. Not that that's gonna make all that much difference, but I mean, some of these accessories we can just buy later. Yeah, no, an earring. I don't think there's ever going to be a point where I'm going to have all three characters in a party equipped with that, so I'll just sell one of those. That should do it. There's Condor. Trying to talk to the guy, not the stool. And we're just going to do our same strategy again. And now we play the waiting game. Waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos instead. Alright, so we got the boss music this time. So, what are we facing here? I don't even remember. Oh, it's just the same guy again. Probably a stronger version of him, but still. We haven't used Kagata yet, so let's just see what he does. I know it's a drawing elemental attack, but I kind of forget what the animation looks like. I think, is he like a bull summon? After a disaster. Yeah, that's what I was remembering. Oh yeah, he actually does Earth too. Well, it's Petra. So yeah, it's a quad elemental. That was it. The downside to an attack like the attack the quad elemental thing is basically if an enemy will absorb any one of the elements that it uses, it'll heal it, even if it's weak to one of the other elements. It's hatching. And he's not coming back, is he? The huge materia. At the key items section in a while. Yeah, there's our first huge materia. We still have the lunar harp, the basement key, the keystone from the Temple of the Ancients, the snowboard, Mookie's bikini briefs. Like almost fully a quarter of the key items that you get in total are just from the cross-dressing subplot in Full Market. Because we actually missed one. We missed the tiara, so there should be one more here. I completely forgot about the tiara. All right, so we'll get the inn and we'll do coral and then or corral and then we'll call it for this part. Try not to go over 3 hour mark. I'm at 2:15 right now. Of course, the last section I said I was gonna not take as long, and then it ended up being the longest part for this game yet. So go figure. All right, so North Corel. I feel like story-wise, I should have Barrett in the party for this part, but we already have Sid in the party, and I tend to use them in similar roles within the party. So I think I'll stick with the lineup we have. is. And drop a section. Could have just waited to save, I guess. Oh yeah, the rope play to the gold saucer. At some point, we'll want to go back there. I think it's 30,000 gil to get the lifetime pass, the gold ticket. Which we should get. I mean, again, I'm gonna game the system instead of doing the chocobo racing, so we don't have to go back quite as much. But it's still not a bad thing to have. So we want to go to the reactor here anyway. I think we just have to backtrack a little ways. Of course, the enemies don't change, so not a whole lot of threat from anything we're facing here, but also not a whole lot of experience or gold or any gil or anything. All right, here we go. I forgot about that armor we got from the last four Condor battle. Damn it, we don't even have Saban here to suplex the train. Actually, Tifa could probably do it. She knows Meteor Strike, which is what suplex was. There we go. 9 minutes to spare. I think each car on this train has an increasingly tough enemy to fight on it, but we have plenty of time here. So what we probably don't want to do is use like summons or anything, just because of the time factor. You see there? Let me just check the. Yeah, don't put that on it. Good. Viper on Yuffie there. Or red, actually. Sadness. And let's check that guy. Second fight. Try freeze out on them. Trying on a skill. Come on. Thank you for dying. Jeez. Gotta be weak to lightning, right? I think there's only one more, so I'm a little closer than I would like. But... What's uh, why isn't it letting me do anything? Well, I did it somehow, but I don't know how. Mashing buttons. I tried to look it up real quick in the player's guide. You can actually fail that and continue the game. Don't get this one huge materia at this point, but it's better to succeed. All right, well, actually pretty healthy at the moment. We might as well stay at the end. Ultima Materia, that's a spicy meatball. Automatically stay at the end for free. I don't think it stays at free end though. Yeah, okay. I think the Ultima Materia, I believe you actually have to level up at least once just to get it to just to be able to cast Ultima. Yeah, but it does take a big chunk of hit points though. All right, so I believe that we next go into Cloud's mind once we get to medieval. There's a boss fight with the ultimate weapon or the ultimate weapon, um, which results in medieval effectively being destroyed. You can still go through it and stuff, but kind of in between that, or maybe it's after the ultimate weapon fight, you have a sequence in where Tifa goes inside Cloud's mind, and that's probably the whole thing is probably a place to pick up next time. So I succeeded in making it a shorter part, um, but we will there. So let's just like go to where we need and quit there. All right, another chunker of Final Fantasy VII in the books. Next time we will go into Cloud's Mind, which the last couple Final Fantasies have done, counting this one at least. I guess five didn't have anything like that, but certainly six had Cyan's Dream, and eight, for what it's worth, say the least, I'm not a fan of eight, as anyone who's watched other videos of mine where I've mentioned it probably know. But eight does have some like within the mind stuff. Did nine do anything like that? Well, anyway, yeah, we'll pick up with Cloud's coma next time. Uh, kind of basically results in him eventually pulling his psyche together and rejoining the party. So we'll get Cloud and Tifa back next time after that sequence. Then we'll go to the underwater reactor. I'm just kind of looking ahead. There will be the submarine battle. Um, so I'm thinking we might get up to maybe the point where the rocket gets launched from Rocket Town next time. So yeah, anyway, we'll carry on sometime soon. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hit like and subscribe if you did, and hit like and subscribe even if you didn't, because it helps me out. And anyway, we'll see you again. So have a good one.